why the concerned, quote-unquote, Xbox fan is wrong about State of Decay 2. Now keep in mind that that's completely garbage. 3 out of 10. Unfinished, trashy-ass, garbage co-op from State of Decay 2 that's unplayable is literally being played fine with no hitches, 100% presentable, functional, right now in front of you. And also keep in mind I've got well over 20 hours in the game. I've had several hosts. If you're a member of this community, I played it with people like Mooch. I played it with Lord Cognito, Lord Sinister, Colt Eastwood. I played it with the Ashen Luca. Fine, perfectly fine experiences every single time. And they've even said as much on Twitter. So these things are searchable. You can find these things out. And I think it's important to get a positive perspective on the game from somebody that was both a big fan of the first game, and secondly, most importantly, somebody who has actually played the fucking game. So I think that holds a little bit of weight. Let me know if you'd agree. And of course, if you have any questions, just please try to hold off to the end of the video, because I'm going to cover the bugs. I'm going to cover the problems, because they are there. But what's being fed to people over Twitter and literally turning them off the game? They never even played the game. They don't plan on playing the game now because they're being lied to. They don't understand how peer-to-peer works, which sucks. I agree. They should have did things differently, but I'm going to get into that. So thank you so much for joining me. Hit that like button, and let's get going. Now let's tackle the reviews real quick. The game is sitting at a cool 68 on Metacritic. That's 10 points lower than its predecessor, of which it is better than in every single way. Of the reviews, which are just opinions, I agree with ACG the most. But keep in mind, ACG is also a State of Decay fan. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that there are those out there that have all their ducks in a row. Your connection's great, your NAT's good, everything's good, and you still have co-op issues. I'm sure that has been a problem for people. But when it comes to this video, what I've been seeing in the echo chamber of idiocy on Twitter, it's all my opinion. It's in reaction to a lot of people that haven't even played the game, that have joined this bandwagon mentality and amplified what is largely misunderstood or non-existent issues for many people. It's kind of ridiculous to me. So I'm going to give you my perspective and experience with the game and just take it as that. Say I'm damage controlling. I don't really give a damn. I've got no reason to. It is what it is. Now, when it comes to the concerned Xbox fan, of course, it's obvious. You guys know me. I criticize Microsoft all the time, but these guys are, holy shit, the world's ending every single second of every single day. I can't possibly enjoy anything because the world's ending. And they give zero perspective on a lot of things, but offer a lot of criticism on things that they haven't played or things that they don't even fully understand. So really, when it comes to the concerned consumer, I am one of them. You guys have heard it week after week on RDX Podcast. I'm one of them. And check out my Sea of Thieves review and all these other things I've talked about. There's no reason for me to lie or damage control. But it's not my fault I played the game. Now, it was so bad that I went on Twitter and I said, man, I'm having a good time with the game. You know what? The co-op is actually working for me. And people got mad. Consider this. People get mad because you're like, hey, not everything's as bad as you've been told. Now, if that irritates you because you didn't play the game and you told everyone it was trash, that's your bad. But as a fan of the first game, I've got to say, this is better in every single way. State of Decay 2 blows its predecessor out of the water. So when you then go and tell everyone that the game is trash, who does that apply to? What do you mean? Like, I like State of Decay 1. I still enjoyed it to this day before the second one came out. So is it trash to me, or is it trash to everyone? Is it trash to people that only have closed the NAT settings on the router because the co-op will struggle? You got to be very specific, or don't make absolute claims. Those are your two options. So when it comes to the co-op, yes, there are problems. Notably, if you have a strict or moderate NAT type, you will not be able to connect to a host. Or if you are able to connect or get people to connect to you, their connections and gameplay will suffer because you have a problem with your connection. Now here's the thing, it's no different from any other peer-to-peer game ever made. You have to have a NAT type that is compatible and a consistent internet speed or upload or a packet loss percentage, one of those or all of those. It varies on your connection. It varies on everyone's connection in the room. That's the thing about dedicated servers. It removes that from the equation. Nobody's the host. Everybody's NAT types are welcome. It just works. But unfortunately, Undead Labs did not utilize dedicated servers. Why? I do not know. I've already said this in a show. It should have used dedicated servers. It sucks that it has done what hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games that you have enjoyed in the past have done too. And it didn't work out for a lot of people. Now that's the number one issue with co-op. A lot of people are having issues because they don't know who's the problem, what host is doing what, and what's going wrong. There's a lack of communication between the game and the player, and that's unfortunate. Undead Labs should have used dedicated servers. Microsoft should have used dedicated servers. I don't care how expensive they are, they can afford them. As a matter of fact, in 2013, Microsoft said they could give free dedicated servers to all games, and that never happened. Something else I also made a video about back in the day. So for those of you with strict or moderate NAT types, poor connection, packet loss, things like that, yes, the co-op is going to suffer. Also, those of you with fairly good internet, you may experience some hitching, some micro stutter in the car, for instance. If you're in the car together, it may stutter. It may hitch. There may be a tiny bit of lag occasionally. Or who knows, your mileage may vary. My point is, every single person I've connected to, and everyone I've had connected to me, has been able to play the game just fine. I've not heard any complaints from any of them, aside from the general jankiness of the game. So is that really all that excusable? No, it still sucks. But is it a complete pile of trash that's broken and just rock bottom 3 out of 10? No, it's not. It's really not. It's actually a very enjoyable experience, and that's what happens when you play a game. You kind of learn from experience what's really going on. And from my perspective, from what I figured out, the game works with every single host I've tried connecting to. Other words, you do have glitches. For instance, maybe some structures may not load in when you go to a friend's base. You'll leave, you'll come back, they may load in. They may not. Your flashlight tends to sink into the character and flicker all over the place sometimes. But other than that, aside from the oddball glitch that I can't even think of off the top of my head, the general jankiness, which is much reduced over the first game, is of course still there. So for the millions of State of Decay fans out there that are wondering how State of Decay 2 compares in every way, yes, there are bugs, there are glitches, more so in the co-op. But if you're wondering if it's worth getting, or if it's better, or if it's really unplayable trash like 98% of the uninformed people that haven't even played the game have been saying, no. As a matter of fact, State of Decay 2 is better than the first game in every single way. In many ways, it is a colossal leap in animation quality, gunplay, base improvements, quality of life improvements, modifiers, the way you level up, the way your community reacts and responds, resources. The co-op worked for me. I've been the guy that joins the host more often than I've been the host, and every single time it's the same consistent experience. And I just don't know what else to tell people that haven't even played the game but are absolutely convinced because they looked up a video of State of Decay glitches that the game is just horrible and that's just how it is. Sorry, you're wrong. And I've taken people that started out on one side of the fence that had an absolutely atrocious experience, and then I got them to join my game, and then I joined their game, and we had a great time. So once more, it does rely on the traditional peer-to-peer. Yes, you do need an open NAT type to get the best experience, as you always have needed with peer-to-peer. That's just how peer-to-peer works. And I think it's just unfortunate how people have run this game into the ground. So, just to recap, yes, does it need a patch? I'm not making excuses for that. Do I think that the game needs to be polished a bit more? Absolutely. Is it unplayable? Is it garbage? Is it mediocre? Is it trash? Is it a ripoff? Is it anti-consumer? No, I don't think that. I don't. It's got some glitches in multiplayer. Very few glitches in the single player. But you know what? It's State of Decay, the State of Decay that I've wanted. And as a fan of State of Decay, keep this in mind, as a fan, I am really enjoying the game. 20 plus hours in, over 500 gamer score in the game already. It's just a blast, and it is State of Decay, just improved in every way. So once more, get mad, get angry. It really doesn't matter to me. It's just my opinion on what I've been seeing from people that didn't even play the game. And if you're on the fence, at least Game Pass it. I'll tell you the same thing I told you with Sea of Thieves, even though I did not have a good impression of Sea of Thieves at all. At least Game Pass it. Because only you should be making your mind up about things that you are paying for. And if you're paying for Game Pass, then hey, technically you're paying for State of Decay. Now, are they releasing games like Sea of Thieves on purpose because they know they can subsidize the mediocrity through Game Pass? Don't be silly. You just got to think a little bit and realize that the game was in development well before Game Pass was even a concept at Microsoft. You know, it is what it is. It's the timing. I don't think people will be saying that when Forza Horizon 4 releases to undoubtedly what is minimum mid to high 80s minimum. The last one was a 91 on Metacritic, so I am doing the worst case scenario here. So once again, I think it's just the timing. State of Decay is a $30 game that improves on the first game in every single way. It's got some bugs here and there. It's definitely got some multiplayer issues depending on your connection and the host. You know, but somehow it's rated 10 points lower on Metacritic than its predecessor. Not really sure, but, you know, once again, I'm just an asshole who's played it. So let me know what you think down below. Have you played the game? Are you looking forward to the game? Have you just looked at the videos of the glitches and said, oh, this is how the game is for everyone? We can do that with any game. Think of the most polished game in the universe. Type in that game, then glitches afterwards, and you'll find a glitch montage. That's how it works. So, just keep in mind, this is just my perspective. I am just adding to the pot of perspectives from people that have no perspective on the game. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video or learned something here today. Of course, share this video with a friend. It always helps. And subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff. I'm Dealer. I'm out.